Imagine working hard every month, but still struggling to cover basic expenses. Millions of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, despite having steady jobs and income. Living paycheck to paycheck means expenses consume almost every dollar earned monthly. This financial reality affects young adults, families, and even highly paid professionals. Unexpected expenses, bills, and emergencies can create instant financial stress. High housing costs are one of the leading causes of paycheck-to-paycheck living. Rent or mortgage payments often take up over 30% of monthly income. Transportation costs, including car loans and gas, add another significant burden. Food, healthcare, and childcare expenses increase financial pressure for many families. Credit card debt and student loans trap millions in cycles of payments. Even middle-class households often struggle with rising living costs. Americans are earning more, but inflation and expenses outpace wage growth. Many households lack an emergency fund to cover unexpected financial shocks. Without savings, a single medical bill or car repair can be devastating. Psychological stress from financial insecurity affects mental health and relationships. The paycheck-to-paycheck lifestyle often limits long-term financial planning and investments. Millions delay buying homes, saving for retirement, or pursuing higher education. Convenience culture encourages spending on instant gratification rather than saving. Subscriptions, online shopping, and lifestyle inflation add subtle but consistent costs. Financial literacy also plays a role. Many are unaware of budgeting strategies. Credit access allows overspending, leading to mounting debt and interest payments. Millennials and Gen Z face unique challenges with student loans and high rent. Many workers rely on gig economy jobs that lack stability or benefits. Healthcare expenses continue to rise faster than wages in most states. Americans are paying more for childcare and education than ever before. Inflation increases the cost of everyday goods, like groceries and utilities. Regional differences amplify financial stress. Cities like New York and San Francisco are extreme. High property taxes and insurance further reduce take-home pay. Some Americans work multiple jobs just to cover basic living expenses. Wage stagnation combined with rising costs traps households in a cycle of debt. Even small financial emergencies can create major setbacks without proper planning. Many rely on credit cards or payday loans as temporary solutions. These solutions often come with high interest rates and long-term consequences. Lack of employer benefits, such as retirement plans, worsens the paycheck-to-paycheck issue. Americans often prioritize immediate bills over long-term wealth building. Unexpected layoffs or economic downturns magnify financial vulnerability dramatically. The COVID-19 pandemic highlighted how fragile many Americans' financial situations are. Millions struggled to cover essentials without government aid or savings. Even those earning above-average salaries are not immune to financial stress. Lifestyle inflation means higher income often leads to higher spending, not savings. Many households underestimate the importance of budgeting and tracking expenses. Emergency funds, even small, provide significant relief from paycheck dependency. Awareness of financial habits is the first step toward breaking the cycle. Cultural pressures and social comparisons often drive unnecessary spending. Next, we'll explore the main reasons why Americans remain trapped in this financial cycle. One major reason Americans live paycheck to paycheck is stagnant wages. For decades, wages have not kept up with the rising cost of living. Inflation erodes purchasing power, making essentials increasingly unaffordable for many. Even full-time workers often struggle to cover housing, food, and healthcare. High housing costs are a leading factor behind financial strain. Rent and mortgage payments consume a large portion of monthly income. Cities like New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles are particularly expensive. Property taxes and utility bills add additional pressure to household budgets. Student loan debt, traps millions of young Americans in long-term financial obligations. Monthly payments often exceed hundreds of dollars, delaying savings and investments. Many graduates struggle to repay loans while covering rent, food, and transportation. Healthcare costs are another significant factor pushing Americans into financial stress. Medical bills, insurance premiums, and co-pays can quickly drain bank accounts. Even minor emergencies, like dental work or prescription costs, create financial strain. Americans without employer-provided health insurance face even higher expenses. Credit card debt and high-interest loans make financial recovery difficult. Minimum payments often cover only interest, keeping borrowers in long-term cycles. Many people rely on credit to manage gaps between income and expenses. Lifestyle inflation is another subtle yet powerful factor affecting finances. As income rises, spending often increases proportionally, leaving little for savings. Americans often upgrade homes, cars, and gadgets instead of saving for emergencies. Social pressures, advertising, and comparisons drive unnecessary expenditures. Gig economy jobs provide flexibility but lack stability and benefits. Workers often juggle multiple jobs without paid leave or retirement contributions. This instability reinforces the paycheck-to-paycheck lifestyle for many individuals. Lack of financial literacy leaves many unaware of budgeting and saving strategies. People may underestimate the importance of emergency funds or investment plans. Poor planning amplifies the impact of unexpected expenses and emergencies. Childcare and education costs consume significant portions of household income. Parents often struggle to balance work, bills, and saving for their children's future. Inflation in childcare and tuition costs far exceeds general wage growth. Transportation expenses also burden households, especially those commuting long distances. Car loans, gas, insurance, and maintenance add up to hundreds monthly. Public transportation is not always reliable or affordable in many areas. Taxes further reduce take-home pay, leaving less for discretionary or emergency spending. Unexpected emergencies like accidents or repairs often force reliance on credit. Without a savings buffer, even small financial shocks become major crises. Cultural norms encourage spending and instant gratification rather than saving consistently. Americans are influenced by social media, advertising, and peer comparisons daily. Economic inequality exacerbates financial stress for low- and middle-income households. Wealth concentration in the top percentile leaves less mobility for the majority. Combined, these factors create a cycle where income barely meets expenses. Breaking this cycle requires understanding root causes and taking deliberate action. Next, we'll explore the consequences of living paycheck to paycheck and its impact on life. Living paycheck to paycheck creates constant stress and anxiety for millions of Americans. Financial insecurity affects mental health, increasing depression, anxiety, and emotional strain. Couples and families often experience tension due to money-related conflicts. Children in financially unstable households can feel the effects of stress and instability. Limited savings reduce the ability to invest in education or career growth. Retirement planning is delayed, leaving many unprepared for later life. Americans often cannot afford emergencies like medical bills or car repairs. Credit card debt accumulates as people rely on borrowing to cover shortfalls. Interest payments and late fees further trap households in financial cycles. People may miss opportunities for investments or wealth building due to lack of funds. Living paycheck to paycheck can limit mobility, forcing people to stay in unsuitable jobs. Career advancement may be hindered by the need to prioritize immediate income. Financial instability affects physical health, as stress can contribute to illness. Many delay major purchases, like buying a home or starting a family. A lack of emergency funds increases vulnerability to natural disasters or unexpected events. Americans often sacrifice long-term financial security to meet monthly obligations. The inability to save contributes to feelings of frustration and helplessness. Financial strain can cause reliance on high-interest loans and payday lending. These loans worsen debt cycles and prolong financial instability. Living paycheck to paycheck can lead to poor credit scores, limiting future borrowing. Low credit scores increase the cost of loans and reduce financial flexibility. Many households experience difficulty obtaining mortgages or low-interest financing. This cycle keeps families trapped in a short-term survival mindset. Even small financial emergencies can disrupt an entire month's budget. Americans often postpone medical care or preventive treatment due to costs. This can worsen health outcomes and increase long-term medical expenses. Social opportunities, vacations, or leisure activities are often sacrificed to make ends meet. A lifestyle limited to basic necessities reduces quality of life and personal growth. Families may avoid educational opportunities due to perceived costs or debt risks. Job opportunities that require relocation are often rejected due to financial constraints. Living paycheck to paycheck reinforces dependence on minimum wage or low-paying jobs. It discourages risk-taking, such as entrepreneurship or investing in new skills. Americans often feel trapped, with little control over financial destiny. This dependence can create generational cycles of financial insecurity. Children growing up in such households may inherit poor financial habits. Emotional stress can spill over into relationships, parenting, and workplace productivity. Long-term financial pressure increases burnout and reduces life satisfaction. The inability to plan for the future limits personal freedom and opportunities. Living paycheck to paycheck often prevents building wealth or achieving financial independence. Many adults remain dependent on emergency aid, loans, or family support. Even with higher income, lifestyle inflation can maintain financial stress. Breaking free from this cycle requires awareness, planning, and disciplined money management. Americans must prioritize saving, budgeting, and reducing unnecessary expenses. Financial education and strategic planning are key to overcoming paycheck dependency. Next, we'll explore practical solutions and strategies to break the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Breaking free from living paycheck to paycheck starts with building awareness of spending habits. Track every expense to identify unnecessary spending and areas for saving. Creating a budget allows prioritizing essential expenses and allocating funds for savings. Automate savings by setting aside a fixed amount from each paycheck. Even small contributions to an emergency fund can provide financial security over time. Reduce high-interest debt first to minimize interest payments and financial stress. Credit cards and payday loans should be used cautiously and paid off monthly. Consider consolidating debts to lower interest rates and simplify payments. Increase income through side jobs, freelance work, or passive income streams. Skill development can open higher-paying career opportunities and promotions. Avoid lifestyle inflation by maintaining spending levels even as income increases. Limit discretionary purchases like luxury items, subscriptions, and impulse buys. Plan for irregular expenses, including medical bills, car repairs, and taxes. Build an emergency fund covering 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Automate bill payments to avoid late fees and penalties. Negotiate bills and expenses, such as rent, insurance, or utilities, when possible. Take advantage of employer benefits like retirement contributions and health savings accounts. Investing in retirement funds early compounds wealth over time. Avoid relying solely on credit for unplanned expenses or emergencies. Shop smart by comparing prices, using discounts, and avoiding unnecessary fees. Meal planning and reducing dining out can save significant monthly expenses. Transportation choices, like public transit or carpooling, can reduce costs. Financial literacy courses can teach effective budgeting, investing, and debt management. Track net worth regularly to monitor progress and motivate continued savings. Use apps and tools to visualize income, expenses, and savings goals. Cut recurring subscriptions or memberships that are rarely used. Set specific financial goals, like buying a home or building an emergency fund. Break large goals into smaller, achievable milestones to maintain motivation. Surround yourself with supportive peers or communities focused on financial responsibility. Avoid comparing your finances to others. Focus on personal progress. Prepare for taxes to avoid surprises and ensure proper withholding. Review insurance coverage to prevent financial loss from unexpected events. Consider refinancing loans to lower interest rates and monthly payments. Automate retirement contributions to ensure consistent long-term investment. Avoid high-risk investments without understanding potential losses. Reevaluate financial strategies periodically and adjust for life changes. Practice mindful spending and conscious financial decision-making every day. Celebrate milestones, like paying off debt or reaching savings goals, to stay motivated. Consistency and discipline are key to escaping the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Over time, small steps compound into meaningful financial security. Building an emergency fund creates a buffer against unexpected financial shocks. Learning to live below your means strengthens independence and resilience. Combining budgeting, saving, and income growth accelerates financial freedom. Financial independence allows choices, reduces stress, and improves overall quality of life. By taking deliberate action today, Americans can break the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle forever.